Action. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. King K. Yo, what's good, Kings and Queens? It's your boy Don, and I'm back for another reaction video today. If you're new to the channel, go down below, hit that subscribe button and notification bell and hit all so you know every time I post you are. If you're not new to the channel, you already know what to do. Go down below, hit that like button. Let me know down in the comments what I should react to. I got you, you are. Hit that subscribe button, y'all, please. It's free to support, so show your love. I'm dropping vids every day again, you heard. As y'all see by the title and thumbnail, today we're going to be reacting to how a Minnesota sports bar ended up in street gunfight. This don't even sound good, y'all. Let's learn something today, okay? Let's get into this reaction.
Thursday, March 31st, 2022 was supposed to be a normal night in St. Paul before volleys of gunfire echoed through the North End. Police learned one of the shooters was legally carrying concealed, and initial info said there had been dozens of rounds fired.
Copy. And it looks like the suspect vehicle is going to be a silver pickup truck. Is there a Bravo SWAT at Regions monitoring at all?
Level 401, I copy, thank you.
And there should be another victim coming in that vehicle that left. 363, did they leave in what direction?
Who's shooting?
Hey, stay right here.
I know.
Who is that?
Hey, where's the other person? Hey, get back.
Who is that?
363 Kajad, Hotel Alpha 105. Looks like they got one person in their car. Stay right there. Hotel Alpha 105 is just like a small Chevy sedan. Stay right there.
21-year-old Dion Ford, with a lawful permit to carry, was lying on the ground with his firearm in his hand.
Okay.
Ford was an ex-Central High School basketball and football player who had helped his team win 22 matches, including tough ones against Minneapolis North. After graduating from Central High, Ford played passionately and participated in junior college in North Dakota and Wyoming. He pursued an engineering major at Augsburg University in Minneapolis. Ford was a bright child, and naturally people around him, including his coaches, parents, and colleagues, had high hopes for him and his promising future. His friends organized multiple charity drives to honor his life, while the community launched the Dion Ford Scholarship to help aspiring athletes like Ford in their careers. Yet, one question remained. Who killed this young man? Let's go back to the Maryland supermarket on Thursday, March 31st, when two men were suspiciously following Ford. Detectives got their first break in the case when they found Ford on security camera footage from the market, near where he was shot. Ford went inside a nearby restaurant with the two suspects who followed him inside the market, still hot on his trail. Their intentions became all too clear when Ford walked over to his Chevy Cobalt on the street outside, and one of the suspects followed from behind. He initially started talking to Ford lightly. However, the CCTV footage showed that his hand was inside his pocket. Shortly after, Ford backed away. The suspect leaned inside his vehicle, possibly searching. He initially started talking to Ford lightly. However, the CCTV footage showed that his hand was inside his pocket. Shortly after, Ford backed away. The suspect leaned inside his vehicle, possibly searching for something. It was clear to Ford he was about to be robbed or carjacked. This was when Ford decided he wasn't about to let a random robber get his way with him, and did something that would ultimately cost him his life. In this case, the good guy managed to get the first shot off and successfully strike his target. Unfortunately, that would not be the end of the story. The suspect fell to the ground. Pulling out his handgun, he started shooting blindly at Ford. Although Ford tried defending himself, he was shot in the head. Ford instantly fell to the ground and lost consciousness. As if that wasn't enough for the suspect, he shot Ford an additional 13 times. As Ford lay there lifeless, a Chevrolet Cruze stopped nearby and outwalked a man who then fired more shots at Ford, while the suspect was being helped back into the Chevy Cruze. At 9:15 p.m., Ramsey County authorities received multiple calls from Maryland Avenue with the same information. There was a male bleeding to death in front of them. Ford's body was lying in between the Maryland Market and a restaurant when the police arrived. While the suspect was being helped back into the Chevy Cruze, Ford was surrounded by multiple shell casings, which suggested that there had been a prolonged exchange of gunfire. According to the report, witnesses said they heard 20 to 40 consecutive gunshots before they called 911. Medical assistance promptly arrived at the scene, and at 9:28 p.m., just 15 minutes later, Ford was pronounced dead. The officers stopped the Cruze from escaping and found the injured suspect inside, who was transported to Regions Hospital due to his critical condition. The officers also searched the vehicle for any weapons, but they didn't find any.
They say both men pulled guns out of their pockets and started shooting at each other, and according to the criminal complaint, when they arrived on the scene, they found the men on the ground. Witnesses reported hearing 20 to 40 shots. Police say they found a permit to carry in Ford's wallet. He had a gunshot wound to the head and was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say Ford was already on the ground when Bell shot 13 more times at his lifeless body. Ford's death is sending shockwaves through the youth sports community.
It's crazy,
On April
my
4th,
boy.
2022, Ramsey County
What's up,
authorities
man?
issued an arrest warrant for 21-year-old D'Angelo Dampier, the carjacker's accomplice who pulled up on the shooting scene and fired more rounds at Ford. Dampier revealed that the Chevrolet Cruze belonged to his girlfriend Vivian, who drove Dampier and his brother, 23-year-old Xavion Tyrese Bell, to the supermarket.
When Vivian backs in, you guys get out, you go into the store first, right? And then you go to the restaurant.
Yep.
And then you run into this other gentleman that was involved in this. Do you know his name? You don't know? Okay. All right. His name was Mr. Ford. Dion? Do you know Dion Ford?
Of course
Have you ever
not.
seen him before?
No, but I just figured out who he hangs around.
Okay. All right.
When asked about Ford, Dampier said he didn't know who he was or why they were following him. He also claimed that Bell didn't know Ford before the incident.
And some things I find you being very truthful, and some things you're not being truthful about. Now remember, we watched a lot of video. Okay? And you run back to the car because why?
I heard the shot.
Okay. So what does shots mean to you? I mean,
I don't know, it's just like, I felt something in my, I just felt a weird feeling. Because I didn't know who was getting shot at or who was shooting. I just had that feeling. It's like my body told me to go back to the store. And that's when I seen them two laid out on the floor. So I helped my brother up. I told her to help me call somebody to do something, trying to take me to the hospital. And told me he couldn't move or nothing. And yeah.
okay. So you had a weird feeling. Because generally when you hear shots fired in the neighborhood, which I'm sure you do, you don't run towards them, do you?
No. Well, it depends. If one of my homies or if one of my brothers is in that spot, I'm going to go back. But if it's like all my people with me, I'm not going to go back. I don't care.
Okay. So he hands you a gun or a phone?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do with that object? You put it in your sweatshirt, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the plan with that object? What are you going to do with it? Try to protect your brother?
I guess so.
Did you ever hide it in the car, or you always kept it in your sweatshirt?
No, I took it.
Okay, you took it with you.
I don't know.
What'd you do with that gun?
I don't really remember. I either tossed it or, I don't know, somebody took it from me while I put it down or some shit like that. Because I went to the house that night. And
What house did you go to?
my house.
Your house? Did it sell at the house?
No. That's what I'm saying. My shoes is gone. Some people went in there and took all my shit. You can back.
The investigator then asked what Dampier did when he saw his brother lying on the ground, to which he responded, "Right hand to God, I shot." Dampier initially told the police that he shot 5 to 6 times, but he later confessed that he emptied his entire 9mm when he reached the scene. Towards the end, Dampier expressed his frustration at how Ford was being made out to be the innocent citizen who tragically died, and they are being blamed as murderers. After a thorough investigation, Dampier was charged with possessing a firearm, aiding a criminal in second-degree murder on March 31st, alongside illegal possession of a gun. On February 1st, 2023, justice was finally served as Ramsey County Judge Andrew Gordon sentenced Dampier, the second shooter, to 25 years imprisonment. The state had initially requested 367 months, which would have been the maximum under state sentencing guidelines, while Dampier asked the judge for 15 years. However, the judge denied both demands, saying he held Bell, the first shooter, more responsible for the incident.
Bell's brother is already behind bars for his role in the murder. Back in February, a jury found D'Angelo Dampier guilty of several counts, including aiding and abetting second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Bell's plea deal also required him to enter guilty pleas in 2 other cases for a total of 5 first-degree aggravated robbery convictions.
Bell was given 30 years imprisonment, and it was established that the incident was triggered by Bell's attempt to rob Ford, who simply fired in his defense and was permitted to carry a gun.
Touches your heart when you know who that person is.
Ford, a star athlete and former Central High School student, was respected and loved by so many, including his former wrestling coach, teacher, and mentor,
Spent a lot of time with him.
Dominique Gilmer.
I showed him that I cared about him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to, do well." This is a goofy kid that wanted to do well.
Every year, you're losing loved ones to gun violence. He has committed this. It's disgusting, and for him to be still out walking is, I can't even fathom it right now.
Son, that's crazy, yo. The worst part about it is that stuff like this is happening every single day. But I hope whoever's watching this, y'all see this and y'all learn. Yo, you plot to do a robbery because maybe you don't have no money. Moral of the story is you heard. You do that robbery, you get 20 years, no money, no support, and when you get out, you gotta start all over. It's not worth it. Just shot a vid before this, about to go shoot another one right now. I'm gonna see y'all there, so beat me there, you alright? Peace, love, dawn, you know the vibes. DONLIL KingKreacts. Y'all already know what to do. You heard, hit that subscribe button, notification bell. Thank y'all for popping out. Peace, love, Dawn, you know the vibes.